Hello, student. Good morning. Let me introduce myself. I'm Putri Kusuma and I'm your lecturer for the tourism policy class. Today we are having our first meeting in the class. I hope that all of you are in good health and are ready to follow this class until the end of the semester. In this first meeting, we will discuss a general overview of policy, particularly policies in the tourism sector. This course is important because policies serve as the foundation for every step in the development and management of tourism at various levels, both national and regional. Therefore, I hope you will follow this class seriously, actively ask questions, and engage in discussion so that your understanding will be deeper and more comprehensive. All right, we'll begin today's class by understanding the definition of policy. Policy is related to the idea of organizational regulation and represent a formal pattern that is mutually accepted by the government or institution through which they seek to pursue their goals. The behavior of an actor, such as an official, a group, or a particular institution, in solving the problem they are facing. Basically, there are many explanations with a different definition and limitation regarding policy. Policy must at least fulfill four important aspects. First, improving the standard of living of the community. Second, achieving justice by the law, social justice, and opportunities for individual achievement and creativity. Third, providing opportunities for active community participation, like in discussing issues, planning, decision making, and implementation. And the last one, ensuring sustainable development. Okay, student, you can see at the slide policy is whatever governments choose to do or not to do. Government decisions are policies. And allowing something to happen without making any decision is also a policy. Policy refers to public decisions made by the state and implemented by bureaucratic officials. According to Knut, Donnell, and Wehrich, policy is a guideline for thinking when making decisions, and these decisions are made within certain limits. Decisions require action, but they are indeed to guide managers in making commitments. Based on the explanation above, it can be understood that policy serves as a general guidelines and limitation that directs the actions taken and sets the rules to be followed by policy actors and implementers, as it is crucial for managing an organization and making decisions based on the plans that have been formulated and mutually agreed upon. It can be concluded that policy becomes a means of problem solving for action that occur. One of academician from Indonesia, Mr. Muhajir, he said state that policy can be divided into two types. Number one is substantive policy, and number two is implementative policy. Substantive policy refers to decisions made by selecting alternative considered appropriate to solve a problem. The follow up to substantive policy is implementative policy, which consists of decision in the form of efforts that must be carried out to implement the substantive policy. Student, if we talk about policy, we need to talk about government policy because it is cannot to separate. Government policy is a set of interrelated decisions made by an individual or a group of political actors concerning the selection of goals and the means to achieve them in a particular situation, where these decisions should, in principle, fall within the authority of this political actor. Government policy is a set of interrelated decisions made by an individual or group of political actors concerning the selection of goals and the means to achieve them in a particular situation where this decision should, in principle, be within the authority of those political actors. The objectives of government policy are efficiency, equity, and security. Okay, students, government policy have two forms. There are public policy and social policy. About public policy is a set of rules that regulates communal lives, which must be obeyed and is binding for us for all citizens. About social policy is a way of taking actions in continuing the process of governments, political parties, power, state, leaderships, and so on. If you have question policy as the basis of development, that is correct. Policy set out the vision, mission, and direction for tourism development, especially in Indonesia. For the example, the National Tourist Development Master Plan, or we call it RIPARNAS, in Indonesia, it is serves as a guidelines for sustainable tourism development. I have another example, like policy regulators regulation and standard. It sets service standards, safety standards, and destination quality standards. It also grants tourism business permits and determines destination development zoning. Another example, policy support investment and infrastructure. It determines budget allocation for the development of tourism, like infrastructure, such as roads, airports, ports, and public facilities. Policy safeguards development sustainability. It regulates environmental conservation, local cultural protection, and the management of tourism carrying capacity to ensure that development does not damage existing potential. Policy also promotes tourism human resource development. It provides training, competency certification, and capacity building for tourism workers to support quality tourism development. Policy also facilitates tourism promotion. It supports destination promotion through branding, event, and international tourism diplomacy. Okay, student, please note this one. Tourism development policy is a series of measures or strategies designed by the government or relevant institution to develop the tourism sector within a region or country, such as infrastructure development, tourism promotion and marketing, environmental protection, development of tourist attraction, human resource training and development, regulation and standardization, public private partnerships, local community empowerment, policies, strategies, and development directions. The tourism sector is a potential sector to be developed as one of the sources of regional income. In efforts to increase local revenue, programs for the development and utilization of regional tourism resources and potentials are expected to contribute to economic development. Tourism is regarded as an activity with multidimensional aspects within the process of development. The development of the tourism sector involves sociocultural, economic, and political aspects. Okay, student, note this one. Tourism development policy can vary greatly from one region or country to another, depending on the characteristic, resources, and objectives of each tourism destination. Thank you for attending today's class. We will conclude today's material here and continue with the next topic in our upcoming session. I wish you all a pleasant day and I look forward to seeing you again next week. See you. Bye.